Picture this, la. It's 3 a.m. in Colombo, Sri Lanka, in the middle of 2022. The petrol pumps are dry, the lights are out, people are literally sleeping in fuel queues, blankets and all, hoping there's diesel by morning. The country has run out of money to buy fuel from anyone. And then, a phone call goes out. Not to America, not to China, even though China had poured billions into Sri Lanka for years. The call goes to New Delhi. Within days, Indian tankers are docking in Colombo harbor, not as charity, as a $4 billion lifeline, one of the largest India has ever extended to another nation. Now here's the part that should stop you mid-scroll. Sri Lanka isn't the only one. Right now, as you're watching this, there are at least 9 countries on this planet, some rich, some powerful, some you'd never expect, that simply cannot function without India quietly holding up part of their world. Today, I'm showing you exactly who they are, and why. Before we get into it, if this is your first time here, I do this every week, pulling back the curtain on India nobody puts in the tourist brochure. So hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, because trust me, by the time we get to country number 6, you will not believe what you're seeing. Okay, let's go. Here's something most people, even a lot of Indians, don't fully clock. India isn't just the world's most populous nation anymore. It has quietly become the world's backup generator, the country everyone else plugs into when their own systems fail. Think about it this way. You know how every apartment building has that one guy who owns the tools nobody else bothered to buy? The drill, the ladder, the spare fuse box? Every neighbor eventually knocks on his door. That's India, on a planetary scale. Except the tools here are medicine, food grain, fuel, software, ships, and human skill. And it didn't happen by accident. For decades, India built capacity nobody was watching, churning out generic medicines, while the West argued about drug pricing, training more engineers and merchant navy officers than it could employ at home, refining more crude oil than almost any nation on Earth. All that quiet capacity was just sitting there. Then the world had a string of very bad years, a pandemic, a war in Europe, supply chains snapping like old rope, and suddenly, all that spare capacity became the difference between countries coping and countries collapsing. So here's the real question we're chasing today. Which 9 countries got saved by India's spare tools, and what happens to their daily life the moment that support disappears? Because once you see this list, you will never look at a Made in India label the same way again. Let's walk through them, one by one, and I promise, some of these will genuinely surprise you. Number 1 and 2. Nepal and Bhutan. Landlocked, mountain-locked, completely boxed in by the Himalayas. Every liter of fuel, every bag of cement, most of the electricity in Bhutan's homes, it all comes through India, because geography leaves them almost no other door to knock on. When India tightens a border checkpoint even slightly, you can feel the ripple all the way in a Kathmandu kitchen within days. Number 3. Bangladesh. Here's a stat that'll surprise you. Bangladesh buys more from India than almost any other country in South Asia. Everything from cotton for its massive garment industry to onions for its dinner tables. When India briefly restricted onion exports a few years back, kitchens in Dhaka felt the pinch within a week. One vegetable. That's the level of interdependence we're talking about. Number 4. The UAE and the wider Gulf. Now flip the picture. This isn't about fuel or food. It's about hands and minds. Walk through a construction site in Dubai, a hospital in Abu Dhabi, a trading office in Sharjah. Indian professionals and workers are the backbone of that daily hum. Millions of them. Remove that workforce overnight, and Gulf economies don't just slow down, entire sectors freeze. Number 5. Russia. Stay with me here, because this one's wild. After Western sanctions hit Moscow hard, Russia needed buyers for its oil, badly. India stepped in and started buying Russian crude at a discount, refining massive volumes of it right here on Indian soil. So in a strange twist, one of the world's most sanctioned economies has been leaning on Indian refineries just to keep cash flowing. But what we found next completely changed how we saw this whole story. Number 6. The United Kingdom. You know the NHS, Britain's beloved National Health Service? Indian-origin doctors and nurses make up one of the largest single groups of foreign-trained medical staff keeping that system alive. Wards, emergency rooms, surgical teams. Walk into any major British hospital and you will hear a very familiar accent in the corridor. Number 7. The United States. Silicon Valley boardrooms, Google, Microsoft, led by Indian-origin CEOs. But it goes far deeper than the top job. The quiet back-office machinery of American banks, airlines, and insurance giants runs through Indian IT companies, processing your credit card dispute or your insurance claim at 2 a.m. Indian Standard Time while America sleeps. Number 8. A huge stretch of Africa. Here's the one that genuinely humbles you. India is called the pharmacy of the world for a reason. It supplies a massive share of the generic medicines that treat HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis across the African continent. Millions of people alive today, right now, are alive because a factory in Hyderabad or Ahmedabad made their medicine affordable. Number 9. Honestly, almost everyone, through shipping. Here's a fact that blows people's minds. A huge share of the officers commanding merchant ships crossing our oceans right now are Indian. The container ship carrying your phone, your coffee, your sneakers, there's a very real chance an Indian captain is steering it through a storm somewhere in the Arabian Sea tonight. Now here's the twist that reframes everything you just heard. You'd think a country holding this much leverage over the world would act like it, throw its weight around, make demands, act like the powerful uncle at the family function. But India, more often than not, plays this incredibly quietly. Notice something. India didn't publicly announce, "We are saving Sri Lanka," with fanfare. It didn't hold a press conference about refining Russian oil. It just did the work. And that's actually the deeper truth here. This isn't really a story about India flexing power. It's a story about India occupying a strange, almost invisible middle position, too essential to ignore, too modest to advertise it. Rich countries need India's talent and refineries. Poor countries need India's grain and medicine, and India needs almost none of them back in quite the same desperate way. That imbalance, being needed more than you need, that's the real currency in this story. Not oil, not rice, not even the doctors. It's dependency itself, quietly accumulated, one crisis at a time, until 9 very different nations all found themselves dialing the same number when things fell apart. And here's why this actually matters, beyond the facts and figures. If you're watching this from Mumbai, or Chennai, or a small town in Punjab, I want you to sit with this for a second. The medicine your uncle takes for his blood pressure, the rice your grandmother cooks, the ship your cousin works on, these aren't small everyday things. They are quietly holding up hospital wards in Nairobi, kitchens in Dhaka, and oil tankers in the Arabian Sea. That's not a small country's story. That's not even just a big country's story. That's the story of a nation that grew from being the one who needed help into the one everybody else quietly needs. And if you're watching from outside India, as a traveler, as someone from the diaspora missing home, as someone who's just now realizing your own country's hospital or fuel tank probably has an Indian fingerprint on it somewhere, I hope this changes something. India was never just the country of the Taj Mahal and spicy food and Bollywood dance numbers. It's the quiet, unglamorous machinery keeping half the world's lights on. And honestly, it never even asked for the credit. So here's my question for you in the comments. Of these 9 countries, which one shocked you the most? Was it Russia buying discounted oil, or the NHS running on Indian doctors? Drop it below. I read every single one. And if this one hit you, wait until next week. I'm breaking down the one Indian invention the entire world uses every single day and has absolutely no idea where it came from. You do not want to miss that one. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.